Ladies and gentlemen, there's a simple truth that can transform everything about how we live our lives. Your future is shaped by the choices you make today. But here's the catch. The choices you make are often determined by how you view the world and, more importantly, how you view yourself. Our perspective is one of the most powerful tools we possess in shaping the life we experience. The way we view the world, the situations that unfold before us, and even the people we encounter plays a significant role in determining our outcomes. Perspective isn't just about how we see the world, but it is about how we interpret it. It is the lens through which we filter every experience, and in that lens lies our reality. The first thing to understand about perspective is that it is not fixed. It is fluid and malleable, waiting for us to reshape it according to our needs, aspirations, and challenges. Too often, we find ourselves stuck in a negative loop because we view everything through a pessimistic or limiting lens. We might see a failure as a permanent setback or a mistake as a mark of our inadequacy. But what if we could shift that perspective? What if instead of viewing failures as reflections of our worth, we saw them as stepping stones toward growth? What if setbacks were merely detours on the path to our success? The beauty of perspective is that it is entirely within our control. We are not bound by the circumstances around us unless we allow ourselves to be. Life is unpredictable and it's easy to feel disempowered when faced with adversity, but the truth is that we have the power to shift how we respond. A change in perspective can transform an obstacle into an opportunity. When we adopt a mindset of possibility, we see the world not as a collection of insurmountable challenges, but as a playground for creativity and growth. This shift is not always easy. It requires conscious effort and self-awareness. It means choosing to see the positives in situations that initially appear difficult. It means challenging the negative narratives that play in our minds and rewriting them with thoughts of empowerment. For instance, when faced with a difficult project or task, instead of thinking, I'm not good enough for this, we can train our minds to think, this is a chance for me to learn and improve. Perspective also affects the way we interact with others. It dictates the energy we bring into relationships and the assumptions we make about people. Imagine viewing someone with empathy instead of judgment, or seeing an opportunity for collaboration instead of competition. How would that shift affect your personal and professional life? Perspective creates the foundation for connection and growth. When we see the best in others, we often bring out the best in them, and in turn, we reflect that positivity back onto ourselves. In the end, perspective shapes not just how we perceive the world, but how the world perceives us. When we approach life with optimism, resilience, and an open heart, we invite others to do the same. By simply changing our perspective, we change our reality. This shift in how we see things has the power to elevate our experiences, our relationships, and our successes. It's a shift that is available to all of us at any moment, and it is often the key that unlocks the life we've always dreamed of. The true power of perspective lies in its ability to transform not just our thoughts, but the very fabric of our existence. Change is one of the most constant and inevitable forces in life. It comes to us in many forms, personal, professional, and even societal, and often it arrives uninvited, disrupting the familiar and the comfortable. Yet change is something we must learn to embrace if we want to grow and thrive. It is not the absence of change that leads to success or fulfillment, but our ability to navigate and adapt to it with grace and strength. The first thing we must understand is that change is not a disruption. It is a natural part of the rhythm of life. Nothing stays the same forever. Seasons change, people evolve, opportunities arise, and challenges appear. Whether we want it or not, the world around us is constantly shifting, and trying to resist it only creates friction and stress. Instead of seeing change as an enemy, we need to view it as a tool for progress. Every change, no matter how small, carries with it the potential for growth. However, embracing change doesn't always come easily. Human beings are creatures of habit, and we often find comfort in the familiar. Change challenges us to step out of our comfort zones, and this can bring about feelings of fear and uncertainty. It's natural to feel apprehensive when faced with something unknown, but it's important to remember that fear is often a result of our perception of the unknown, not the actual reality of change. The truth is, change often opens doors to possibilities we may never have considered before. And it's only by walking through those doors that we discover new paths to success. Adapting to change with grace begins with cultivating a mindset of flexibility. Life is not about rigid plans or timelines, but rather about adjusting and responding to the shifting tides. When change comes, instead of resisting it, we must ask ourselves, how can I adapt? This question shifts our focus from what has been lost to what can be gained. It encourages us to see opportunities rather than obstacles. For example, losing a job might feel like a failure, but it could also be the chance to explore a new career path, start a business, or reinvent oneself. Rather than clinging to what was, the key is to stay open to what could be. Another important aspect of embracing change is letting go of the need for control. We all like to feel in control of our circumstances, but the truth is, there is so little in life we can actually control. We can control our responses, our mindset, and our actions, but the world around us will continue to evolve, sometimes in unexpected ways. Accepting this reality frees us from the stress of trying to dictate the course of everything. It allows us to let go and flow with life, trusting that the direction we need to go will unfold when we remain open to it. Equally important is the ability to reflect and learn from the changes we experience. Every change presents an opportunity to reevaluate our values, beliefs, and goals. It forces us to question our old ways of thinking and challenge our assumptions. This reflection can be an incredibly transformative experience, leading to deeper self-awareness and personal growth. As we look back on past changes, we often realize that those very moments shaped us into the people we are today, and without them, we wouldn't have arrived at our current level of wisdom or achievement. Embracing change is not about giving up or resigning ourselves to things beyond our control. It's about learning to adapt, grow, and thrive in a world that is constantly evolving. When we embrace change with an open heart and mind, we not only weather the storm, but we learn to dance in the rain, turning each challenge into an opportunity for personal evolution. Change in all its forms is a catalyst for the new and exciting chapters in our lives, and the sooner we accept it, the sooner we unlock the true potential within ourselves. Believing in your own value is one of the most fundamental aspects of leading a fulfilled and successful life. Self-worth isn't something that can be handed to you by others. It is something you must discover and nurture within yourself. When you recognize your intrinsic value and embrace it fully, you unlock a power that is transformative, not only in your personal life, but also in every relationship and endeavor you pursue. Too often, we find ourselves doubting our worth, whether it's comparing ourselves to others, seeking validation from external sources, or allowing past mistakes to define us. We get caught in cycles of self-doubt that chip away at our confidence. But here's the truth. You were born with all the potential you need to create a meaningful life. The only thing that stands in the way of realizing that potential is the belief that you're not enough. And the moment you shift that belief, everything changes. Self-worth is not about external achievements, accolades, or the opinions of others. It is about understanding that you are inherently valuable simply because you exist. It's easy to tie our sense of worth to what we do, how much we have, or how others perceive us. Society often reinforces this idea, equating value with success, status, or material possessions. But true self-worth comes from within. It's the unshakable belief that you deserve to be loved, respected, and successful, not because of what you have done, but because you are enough as you are. Confidence arises from this deep sense of self-worth. When you believe that you have value, you naturally begin to trust in your abilities, your decisions, and your capacity to overcome challenges. Confidence isn't about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about having the courage to act and the resilience to keep going, regardless of the obstacles you face. Confidence is rooted in the understanding that no setback, failure, or criticism can diminish your value. Every experience, whether positive or negative, is a lesson that contributes to your growth and strength. When we don't believe in our own value, we tend to shy away from opportunities. We second-guess ourselves, hold back from taking risks, and hesitate to speak up. We allow fear and insecurity to dominate our actions, and as a result, we miss out on chances to grow, achieve, and experience life to the fullest. But when we recognize our worth, we stand tall in the face of uncertainty. We step into situations with the belief that we have something valuable to contribute, and that belief propels us towards success. Our confidence becomes a magnet for opportunities and attracts the right people and circumstances into our lives. Self-doubt and insecurity are natural to some extent. We all experience moments of uncertainty, but the key is not to let those moments define us. Instead of allowing self-doubt to paralyze us, we must learn to confront it. One of the most powerful ways to overcome doubt is to focus on our past successes, no matter how small, and remind ourselves that we have faced challenges before and emerged stronger. Every time we achieve something, no matter how minor it may seem, we reaffirm our worth and strengthen our confidence. At the heart of believing in your value is the willingness to be kind to yourself. Self-worth isn't just about achieving things. It's about honoring your own humanity, embracing your flaws, and celebrating your growth. When you truly love and respect yourself, you treat yourself with compassion and understanding, especially during times of failure or struggle. You realize that no mistake or setback can ever take away your inherent worth. The journey to believing in your own value is ongoing, and it requires patience, practice, and a deep commitment to yourself. But once you embrace the truth of your worth, you open up the possibility for greatness. You unlock your potential to create, to succeed, and to live a life filled with confidence, joy, and fulfillment. When you believe in your value, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Taking responsibility for your life is one of the most empowering actions you can take. It is about understanding that you have the power to shape your own destiny, to make choices that reflect your values, and to take ownership of the consequences of those choices. When you fully embrace responsibility, you step into a space of control over your life, and in doing so, you unlock the true potential for growth, change, and success. Too often, we find ourselves blaming external circumstances or other people for the challenges and setbacks we face. It's easy to point fingers and attribute our struggles to the economy, society, or the actions of others. While it's true that life presents us with obstacles, it is how we respond to those challenges that defines our path. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we react to it. We may not have control over the circumstances, but we always have control over our decisions, actions, and attitude. The moment you take full ownership of your life, something powerful happens. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the creator of your reality. Responsibility is the key to empowerment. It means no longer allowing excuses to govern your actions. It means taking a hard look at where you are, where you want to be, and accepting that only you can bridge that gap. It's about making choices based on your goals and values, not out of fear or reaction to outside pressures. The more you take ownership of your life, the more empowered you become to make choices that align with your true self. Taking responsibility also means acknowledging and owning your mistakes. We all make them. No one is perfect. But when we refuse to take responsibility for our errors, we deny ourselves the opportunity to learn and grow. Admitting that we were wrong is not a weakness. It is a sign of strength and self-awareness. When we take responsibility for our actions, we give ourselves the chance to correct course, learn from our mistakes, and emerge stronger. It is through our mistakes that we grow, and the only way to avoid repeating them is by fully accepting our role in them and taking the necessary steps to improve. In addition to personal responsibility, taking ownership of our lives also means being accountable to others. It means standing by our commitments, being dependable, and fulfilling our promises. The way we show up in the world reflects our sense of responsibility. When we hold ourselves accountable, we build trust and credibility not only with others, but also within ourselves. Accountability is a reflection of our integrity, and it strengthens our relationships and reputation. Responsibility also encompasses our health, well-being, and happiness. It is easy to blame external factors for our stress, unhappiness, or lack of fulfillment. However, we are the ones who decide how we manage our mental, physical, and emotional health. We are the ones who make the decision to take action, to prioritize self-care, and to seek out solutions to our problems. When we take responsibility for our own well-being, we no longer wait for someone or something to fix us. We take the reins and begin making choices that promote a healthier, more balanced life. The most important aspect of taking responsibility is recognizing that it is not about perfection. It is not about always getting it right or never making mistakes. It is about recognizing that you have the power to choose, to learn, and to grow from every experience. Taking responsibility is about standing up, owning your actions, and knowing that no matter what happens, you are the one who holds the power to create the life you want. When you take full responsibility for your life, You free yourself from the chains of blame and external expectations. You gain the clarity and strength to move forward with purpose, knowing that every choice you make is a step toward creating the life you envision. You begin to trust in your ability to navigate challenges, learn from your experiences, and ultimately create a reality that reflects your true desires and potential. Aligning with your inner purpose and following your passion is one of the most profound ways to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. When you tap into what truly excites you, you unlock a sense of motivation and direction that is both powerful and transformative. Purpose is not something you find outside of yourself, it's something you discover within. And when you live in alignment with that purpose, everything falls into place in a way that feels authentic and satisfying. Often we spend our lives chasing after external markers of success, titles, achievements, possessions, believing that these things will bring us happiness. But true fulfillment doesn't come from what you accumulate or how others perceive you. It comes from within. It comes from knowing that what you're doing aligns with who you truly are. When you discover your purpose, you understand that the journey isn't about proving something to the world, but about honoring the unique gifts you have to offer. Passion is the fuel that drives you toward your purpose, and when you're driven by passion, there is no force strong enough to stop you. Living in alignment with your purpose brings clarity to your life. It removes the confusion and uncertainty that can often cloud your decisions. When you are clear about what excites you and what gives you meaning, you stop wasting energy on things that don't resonate with your values. Your choices become more focused and deliberate. You begin to filter out distractions and opportunities that don't serve your greater vision. This clarity empowers you to move forward with confidence, knowing that every step you take is one in the direction of your true purpose. One of the most remarkable things about purpose and passion is how they provide a deep sense of motivation, even in the face of adversity. Life will inevitably present you with challenges, and there will be times when things don't go according to plan. But when you are connected to something bigger than yourself, when you are pursuing something that truly excites you, those challenges become less daunting. Your purpose becomes the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm, the reason you push through even when it feels difficult. Passion gives you the energy and resilience to keep going, even when the road ahead seems long and uncertain. It's easy to get distracted by what others are doing or by what society tells us we should pursue. But living a life of true purpose requires courage. The courage to listen to your inner voice, to go after what excites you, even if it doesn't make sense to others. It's about stepping into your own power and trusting that what you are passionate about is exactly what the world needs. When you follow your passion, you become a magnet for opportunities that align with your purpose. People, circumstances, and resources seem to come together to support you when you are fully aligned with your inner truth. At the heart of following your purpose is the willingness to embrace your individuality. No one else can fulfill your purpose because it is uniquely yours. It may take time to discover what truly excites you, and that's okay. The process of self-discovery is an ongoing journey, and it's important to be patient with yourself as you explore what resonates with your heart. But once you uncover your purpose, it will give you the clarity and strength to move forward with intention. Purpose and passion go hand in hand, and when you find them, you find a wellspring of energy and joy that makes every day feel meaningful. It is the force that propels you to give your best, to serve others, and to continue growing. When you align with your purpose, you don't just live for success or recognition, you live for something far deeper. The joy of doing what you love and making a difference in the world in your own unique way. When you follow your passion, life becomes a beautiful expression of who you are meant to be. Perseverance is one of the most important qualities anyone can cultivate on the path to success. It's the unshakable commitment to keep going, no matter how long the journey takes, no matter how many obstacles appear, and no matter how many times you feel like giving up. Success is rarely achieved overnight. It is a process, often a long and winding road full of challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. The key to achieving your goals is not simply talent or good luck, it's the relentless pursuit of your vision, even when things seem difficult or discouraging. Many people start with great enthusiasm, eager to achieve their dreams, but they quickly lose momentum when things don't go as planned. The reality is that success is built on a foundation of failures, mistakes, and learning experiences. Every successful person you admire has faced adversity at some point. What set them apart was not that they were immune to difficulties, but that they refused to quit in the face of them. Perseverance is the ability to push through when the going gets tough and to keep moving forward despite the odds. One of the biggest obstacles to perseverance is the fear of failure. We are often conditioned to think that failure is something to be avoided at all costs. But the truth is, failure is a necessary part of success. It is through our failures that we learn, grow, and refine our approach. Every failure is a lesson, and the only way to truly fail is to stop trying. Perseverance is about viewing each setback as an opportunity to adjust, learn, and improve. It's about understanding that the path to success is rarely straight. It's full of twists, turns, and bumps along the way. The greatest achievements in history were not accomplished by those who had the easiest path, but by those who refused to give up when faced with obstacles. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well. The real test of your commitment comes when things aren't going as planned. When you're faced with challenges that make you question your ability, and when you feel like you've reached your limit, it is in these moments that perseverance becomes your most powerful ally. Perseverance requires patience, the understanding that success doesn't come immediately. It's the ability to take one step at a time, to stay focused on the bigger picture, and to keep your eyes on the end goal. Sometimes the road to success may feel slow, and there will be moments when it seems like you're not making any progress at all. But if you keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening, you will eventually look back and see how far you've come. Every small step forward, every effort, no matter how seemingly insignificant, contributes to your overall progress. There will also be times when you feel exhausted, when you question whether it's worth it, when you want to throw in the towel. In those moments, perseverance is not just about physical endurance, but about mental strength. It's about tapping into your inner resilience and pushing through the doubts and discomfort. It's about reminding yourself of why you started and reaffirming your commitment to your goals. Success does not belong to those who give up, but to those who continue moving forward despite the difficulties. The key to achieving anything meaningful in life is to keep going one step at a time, even when the road ahead is uncertain. Perseverance is the difference between those who dream and those who make their dreams a reality. It's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. When you embrace perseverance, you realize that no challenge is too great, no setback is too permanent, and no dream is too far out of reach. Your future is not a destination, it's a journey. And the beautiful part is you hold the map. Choose wisely, stay bold, and know that your journey is the most precious story you'll ever write. Thank you.